Library board?
What we are here for, the library, we've decided we'd like to clean up the basement of the library. It's just in need of repair. It's got the wall downstairs that kind of divides the room, and it's got a good place for us to have our meetings. We like to have an open forum if we can, and with that wall that divides the room in two, it just kind of, it's harder to set up for any kind of room programs that we want to have. So we are applying for the CETA grant for that. Roughly right now where we're at with bids we've had for materials and labor, we're right around $10,900, and with the CETA grant they're going to fund hopefully half of that. We do have some money coming from the Wilma Gosh Trust to help with the other portion of that. What we are asking the city, if you would, first off, support us through a letter similar to what was submitted for the shelter house renovation project, if the city would put something together for that for us. And for the electrical part of it, we're asking if the city would maybe cover, would cover the labor costs for the electrical and have Mark Detterman do that for us. There would be some lights involved down there, and when Mark was down and visited with Jody, he thought that would run around $900. So our question to you, if you first off, A, would support us with a letter to that, and also cover the cost of the labor that's involved for the electrical portion of it. We'll take care of the labor for the materials and anything like that that's involved, but the city will cover more or less Mark Detterman's time down there doing the electrical. And in addition to that, there's always been a leak. It seems like there's been a water issue in the basement at times, and there was a new downspout, new spouts put on this last year. But we don't think that it was constructed correctly, that it needs to run further out into the street or somewhere better than what it is right now. We'd also like to have the city get that taken care of. So we know when we go to renovate, put new flooring and everything down in the basement, that we will not have a water problem after that.
Questions?
Well, first of all, I think the city should supply a letter for backing of this project.
So that would be one thing. Then we're asking for we provide the labor costs for the electrical, and if we would probably be able to come up with the lights, that $900 with the money we're getting from Wilma. We should be able to have money available to fund all of it. So we're not going to be asking for too much from the city to come up with the cost of those things.
I think the city can take care of the electrical labor, isn't it?
And then also the issue with
Kind of like the water issue.
the water issue is a concern of ours, and we don't. One thing, if we would get this grant, we have a year, but we want to make sure before we start tearing out the walls, putting in new sheetrock, and putting in new flooring, we want to make sure the water issue is resolved. And I know I've talked to Rick a little bit about it. Bob Wells has been in the basement, and he thought by putting a sump pump, there's some stairs, and underneath the stairs we could put a sump pump underneath that. He feels that would probably take care of any type of a water leak. And next step would be do a thrasher, but we're talking $3,000 to $4,000 for something like that. So we want to see if we can get the downspout thing corrected, and if that hopefully that'll take care of it. Now the next step would probably be a sump pump of something underneath the steps down there.
That the downspout would be in the.
It's on the north side of the building, in the corner there.
Yeah, part of the problem is that sidewalk is sunk down along that building.
Okay. Yeah.
And it allows the water to push. We tried sealing it, and I think we talked last fall.
Okay.
Try to keep it out of there, put bentonite underneath there, and then that downspout is part of the problem. And then, I don't know if we can run a tile underneath that sidewalk and come out over in the other corner with the downspout or what.
Can we come around the corner and come along the wall on the east side?
Yeah.
Just to get it there.
Right out underneath that wall over there. It's one idea I thought about, but we'd have to tear the sidewalk out to do it, which isn't that big of an expense, putting the sidewalk in, right?
What if you ran it just under the sidewalk to the curb and run down?
That's where we got it now, and it still causes a problem just because of the way it,
Yeah.
I
Plus anything that melts in front of the library comes around that corner and down.
It becomes a nice
So
view.
it's not just
yeah.
a downspout, it's whatever's
I
on.
was just, what I was looking at is going on down to the east, if you're still gonna get rid of your problem, or if it's all blacktop, isn't it?
Down below there,
Yeah.
it's all blacktop, but there's a big drain down in there.
Okay, well then now.
The drain right in the middle of that parking lot that it could run right through.
That sidewalk was extremely treacherous when that
Yeah.
whole thing was just solid ice and if somebody.
And I think it will continue to be because water gets on the north side of the building, from melting from that sidewalk, you know, and gets down on the north side of it.
I think sometimes you put a downspout into a tile like that, but you freeze up in the winter time, the downspout is split open. But it still might be better that way.
You get it deep enough, I think it wouldn't be near the problem, you know, because it's got a wall heated there anyway that it keeps it
Yeah,
thawed out for a ways out.
I mean, that's something we'd have to make sure we keep up with.
Yeah, we need to fix the water problem.
Right.
I guess, at this point, we're still guessing as to what's the right thing to do.
I know. And we want to proceed with this, you know, applying for this grant, so I guess, you know, and we also, the contractor that we've had some bids submitted and we've picked the contractor, and he, you know, being that it's an indoor project, he wants to do his out, you know, the weather getting nice, he's not going to probably get to this right away this summer. We're looking at late fall anyway, so it gives the city time to do this, and we're just hoping that gets resolved so we can have this, and then kind of the follow-up with that, you know, we'll have this nice meeting room in the library that, you know, we would, as a library, like to have somewhat be in control of that meeting room for our programs and story hours that we have for the kids, and then it could be not necessarily rented out, but other people could use that room also, because we're planning on all new sheetrock, this all panel. It'll be all new, the wall will be gone, new sheetrock, new ceiling, and flooring.
New refrigerator.
We hope to. In case, yes, we are advertising for a refrigerator if we get one, but we might be able to have enough money left over to buy us a new refrigerator.
Rick, you want to go up and look at that and see, bring back up some proposals on how we can fix that drainage?
I've thought about it before, you know, because they kind of quit using it for a while, so
Right,
it never became an issue for a while. I mean, we put dehumidifiers and everything down there trying to clean it up, but it never did work good, Jody. Always smelled
It
musty.
still leaks, yeah.
I think it's probably gonna be a case where I probably do both, try to redirect that water somehow, and then also get something up in there.
I mean, caulking the sidewalk helped a little bit.
Yeah,
Some of that helped, but it didn't completely cure the
yeah,
problem.
just being on the north side like that's gonna be an issue.
And, you know, we just really want to be able to use that room down there, and Jody and her aunts got in there and cleaned it up, and it's a lot nicer than what it was, did some painting and cleaned up those bathrooms, just realizing that the city's probably not going to spend their time getting it cleaned up, so Jody and family and a few of us went and cleaned it all up, and it is nice, but we just want to keep it in a good state of repair so we can use it for the programs that we have to offer at the
I
library.
used it on graduation, it worked really nice. For graduation.
So it sounds like we would have your support with the letter, and then
Yeah.
you will go through with getting something hopefully addressed with the water issue, correct? Thank you.
Library budget?
Primarily, we just submitted that. What we've done from this year, from last, we asked for $500 more than we did from a year ago. We were shorted about $400 from the year before, so we're kind of making up that. The county, they provided us roughly $270 more for the coming fiscal year, so since 65% of our patrons are city patrons, we're asking the city for a $500 increase in their portion, what they provide us. And we are pretty much self-funding through the grants that Jody's applied for in the past, and through Oh My Gosh, we do get a lot of extra things that we don't have a part of our budget. You know, fortunately for the Oh My Gosh Trust, that comes through. That's where we got the new book drop out front. We have a new copy machine that's not too old. New computers. Some of the work that was done on the outside was done through the CETA grant from a previous year, so, you know, we don't really, I mean, the city, you can see those, our budget right there is kind of our day-to-day costs is what that's covering for us.
What you were looking for is from 17,000 to 17,500?
No, just 17,000.
Oh,
Last
just
year was
17.
16,500, so we've increased it to read 17,000 for this year. I'm hoping that would be approved.
I'll make a motion that we approve the library's budget.
Second?
I'll second it.
Been moved and seconded to approve the Wall Lake Public Library's budget. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed nay. Motion carried.